What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Helpers first edition of the Fantasy Film Projector, where we're going to be looking at certain college players and just kind of watching a little bit of tape and deciding how certain skills that they possess are going to help you with your fantasy team if you do, in fact, draft them, and if they do, in fact, get drafted by any team at all, which a lot of these guys we're going to be talking about on this are probably more than likely going to get drafted. So there's some interesting things that you can watch for when it comes to figuring out if a certain player is going to help you in a certain way in fantasy. And my name is George Banco, and I scouted some running backs at the Scouting Academy, which was an online course taught by NFL scout Dan Hatman, former NFL scout now, I believe. And one thing I learned there is I picked up certain traits that I would look at for the running back position. And one of the main things that I would pick up is hang on a sec, sorry, phone's ringing. One of the main things that I would notice, especially with certain running backs, was their ability to catch the ball and make moves upfield. Now, this is a player that I think really exudes those qualities. His name is Jeremy McNichols of Boise State. A really interesting back coming out of college. I think he's going to potentially be a guy you want to have on your fantasy team for this reason. Now, one of the things that he does very well is not only is he a great receiver, he's also somebody who can make really quick cuts and gain yardage upfield and also process different moves to avoid defenders all at once. And this is like a really interesting sequence. This is a game against Washington State. It's the second game of the 2016 season. This game is at Boise State, as you can tell by the blue field. Now, I want you to watch kind of how this play develops and notice some things when it comes to McNichols' receiving ability. And I always mention this all the time. When it comes to fantasy football, you want a back who is a hybrid guy, who can catch the ball and run the ball. Jeremy McNichols has got good size. He's around 5'9", in the 212, 215 range, which is good. That's your prototypical NFL back size. Probably will gain a little bit more weight as he continues, to develop his body because he's, still in college, so he's got a little bit of strength to put on. But overall, he's got the build for an NFL back, and he also, like I mentioned before, and you'll see in this clip, he can catch the ball and make moves upfield. So it's pretty basic. We're just going to go through this play right now. I believe they got two wide receivers to the left, Boise does, and then a flanker. And they also have another flanker on the right side. And McNichols is lined up to the left of the quarterback in the shotgun. And as you can see, Washington State, they got three down linemen. And they got one outside linebacker to the left that's in an upright position. And they also have two corners, and then the safety and the linebacker is covering. So this will be interesting to watch develop here. And we'll see what Jeremy McNichols does. You see, flanker comes in motion. Ball is hiked. Now you see McNichols, the way he runs that route, he's just doing a simple flat route, and he's keeping a straight line as he runs the route, which is a good sign. It's a good polish. He's not rounding the route out, which is nice. And the quarterback is already looking directly to him. It looks like they have a screen set up. As you can see, the wide receivers are already looking like they're going to be blocking downfield. Now he catches the ball. Notice when he catches the ball, he immediately catches it with his hands and looks upfield. It was a very quick transition, which is kind of what you want to see out of a running back that can catch the ball. You want these guys to make the catch as quickly and as smoothly as possible and already start looking upfield. So we have that right now. And now the linebacker who is mirroring his route is coming down to make the attempt to tackle him. And you notice he's got the linebacker, the other outside guys on Boise State, the flanker and the split ends are blocking downfield for him. See, now you see the linebacker come up to try to wrap him up. And there's a really good stiff arm there. And there's an art to the stiff arm. You have to be able to place the hand in the proper spot of the helmet to create that that downward motion of the defender like he did just there. And then he had some help with the block, but he was also able to kind of shed that second defender, was kind of off balance as well. But notice how McNichols keeps his balance here going down the sideline, which is really important. That's something you like to see out of running backs. Shows they have the ability to, stop on a dime, make good cuts, and not fall down. So it just shows you they're very in control when they're running the ball, which is great. And now you see here he's got, I believe this is the safety or the corner coming over to try to clean up the mess here, and he's got another blocker right there. Now I want you to watch kind of what McNichols does after he avoids these two defenders. Watch how this develops. See how he stops here. Like most players would run out of bounds there because they wouldn't, they would kind of give up. They'd be like, okay, we shed two blockers. Maybe I'll get a couple yards upfield after that, but I'm going to probably run out of bounds. Notice how he's able to stop on a dime and cut back to his right, which I think is really impressive. Shows you he's got competitiveness. He's not going to just run off to the sideline and give up on the play. This is a first down play too. This isn't even a third down play, which it's not like he needs to get a first down on this. He's got 3 more downs, but he's showing that he really is really not somebody who goes down easily, which I like. And so, he caught that ball. I believe he caught it a little bit before the 30-yard line. So right now he's already got about 2 yards he's gained. And like I said, most running backs would give up, and now he's going to cut it upfield some more. We'll see how the rest of the play develops here. Again, he knifes through the one other defender coming from the right side, and takes contact from 2 defenders. And you couldn't really see it there because it hitched up fast, but he also fell forward, which is a good sign as well. So, like I said, the ability for players to string multiple moves together after catching the ball is important. And I really appreciate you guys checking this out. This is something to look for when it comes to drafting players. This is something to look for when you're looking at dynasty running backs. If McNichols goes to a certain team that's going to really utilize this receiving skill set that he has, I think he could be really effective and definitely useful when it comes to your fantasy team, get you some PPR points and whatnot. So definitely keep an eye out for Jeremy McNichols coming out for this year's draft. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.